Chili, grab your popcorn, because what just dropped between Porsha Williams and Todd Tucker is so wild. Even the Real Housewives producers couldn't script something this messy. Word on the street is that Porsha has come forward with a claim so bold, so scandalous, it's shaking the entire Bravo universe to its core. And the craziest part? It didn't come from some anonymous troll or a shady blog. It came straight from Porsha herself. Sources say she's been holding on to this secret for months, watching everything unfold from the sidelines, watching certain people smile in her face while stabbing her in the back behind closed doors. And now, she's officially done staying quiet. But before you think this is just another petty celebrity feud, oh no, this one hits deeper. Because according to insiders, Porsha believes that someone she once trusted, someone with power, connections, and a whole lot of nerve, has been hiding a truth that could tear families apart. And if what she's suggesting about Todd Tucker is even half true, careers, marriages, friendships, everything is on the line. But here's the gag. This scandal goes way deeper than the headlines you've seen. And the part that nobody's talking about yet? That's where the real betrayal begins. When it comes to the world of reality television, there are a few names that instantly spark attention, and Porsha Williams is definitely one of them. Known for her glamorous lifestyle, bold personality, and unforgettable moments on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Porsha has built an image that is equal parts beloved and controversial. Fans adore her confidence, her humor, and the way she fearlessly stands up for herself, but they also know that wherever Porsha shows up, drama isn't far behind. For years, Porsha positioned herself as someone who values loyalty, sisterhood, and protecting her family above all else. From her passionate speeches about women's empowerment to her emotional journey through motherhood, she cultivated an image of a woman who has fought through heartbreak, betrayal, and public scrutiny, yet somehow keeps rising stronger. But behind that polished persona, insiders say there has always been an undercurrent of unresolved emotion, and maybe even a few secrets waiting to be uncovered. On the other side of this scandal is Todd Tucker, a man who entered the spotlight through his connection to another RHOA powerhouse, Kandi Burruss. Todd has long been seen as the calm one, the level-headed businessman who prefers to stay out of the mess while still being a firm presence in Kandi's empire. He's often portrayed as the reasonable husband, the family man, the producer with a vision. Fans saw him as someone who avoided getting dragged into petty drama until now. Todd's image has been carefully maintained: hardworking, devoted, quiet when necessary, and solid when it counts. But every public persona has cracks, and the rumor mill has always whispered that Todd can be more complicated behind the scenes than he lets on. Arguments about finances, disagreements with Kandi, and tension within their blended family have popped up from time to time, leaving people wondering if the calm facade is as genuine as it appears. To understand how Porsha and Todd's names ended up in the same scandal, you have to look back at the interconnected web of Atlanta social circles. These two have crossed paths countless times, at events, charity galas, reality show tapings, and even private gatherings with overlapping friends. Their lives were never deeply entangled, but they were close enough to exchange polite smiles, friendly conversations, and occasional collaborations at group functions. But according to insiders, things shifted dramatically about a year ago. Porsha reportedly attended a private charity event hosted by one of Atlanta's elite families, and Todd was also present, not with cameras rolling, not for a storyline, but for business reasons. Those who were there said the two seemed unusually comfortable around each other, sharing private jokes and stepping aside for whispered conversations. No one thought much of it at the time, but looking back, people are now questioning everything. Then came the social media breadcrumbs. Fans started noticing subtle hints, small, nearly invisible connections that only began to look suspicious once Porsha dropped her bombshell accusation. For example, last December, Todd posted a seemingly harmless Instagram story showing himself at a downtown restaurant. Hours later, Porsha posted a selfie at what appeared to be the same restaurant, sitting at a table with the same background decor. Fans didn't make the connection then, but some eagle-eyed followers have since revisited those posts, commenting things like, "Wait, how are y'all at the same spot on the same night? Eyes, this aged like expired milk." Another clue? During a podcast appearance just a few months ago, Porsha hinted that there were certain men in Atlanta who were not as faithful or as loyal as they pretend to be. She didn't say names, but her tone was different. Sharper. More personal. The interviewer laughed it off, but Porsha didn't. She looked down, sighed, and said, "Some secrets have a way of coming out." Meanwhile, Todd made a cryptic tweet around the same time. A tweet that, at first glance, sounded like motivational advice, but now reads like a defensive warning. People love attaching themselves to your name when they need relevance. Stay focused. Fans didn't think much of it then, but in hindsight, the timing feels a little too perfect. And then there was the awards gala incident, the one insiders keep talking about. Porsha arrived looking stunning, confident, glowing, but Todd allegedly avoided eye contact with her the entire night. Some attendees even claim he abruptly walked away when she got too close. One witness described the tension as thick enough to cut with a knife. It's moments like these, the quiet glances, the cryptic posts, the awkward body language, that now hint at something deeper brewing beneath the surface. Something more personal. Something messy. And according to sources close to both sides, the alleged betrayal didn't come out of nowhere. It had been simmering quietly, waiting for the perfect moment to erupt. To really understand how this entire scandal spiraled out of control, you have to rewind almost a full year before Porsha Williams' shocking claim hit the internet. According to people close to her, the tension didn't start with a public argument or a social media post. It began quietly, in private places where cameras weren't rolling and no one thought to pay attention. It all started last spring, at an upscale charity gala in Atlanta. Witnesses say Porsha and Todd Tucker were seen engaged in a conversation that looked unusually serious. Not romantic, not playful, but tense, like two people discussing something personal and emotionally heavy. One attendee even said, it looked like they were dealing with something they didn't want anyone else to hear. At the time, nobody connected it to anything major. But now, looking back, that moment feels like the spark that lit the fuse. Throughout the summer, the two were spotted at the same private industry events more often than usual. They weren't openly interacting, but insiders claim they exchanged hushed conversations backstage and during breaks, as if trying to resolve something that couldn't be talked about publicly. A production assistant later admitted, they didn't look flirtatious, they looked stressed. Like two people who didn't want their business out there. By late summer, things were clearly escalating behind the scenes. Porsha's inner circle started noticing changes in her mood. She was quiet, distracted, and emotionally drained. One friend revealed that Porsha would sometimes break down crying in private, whispering things like, "Why is this happening now? What am I supposed to do?" The friend said Porsha felt she wasn't getting the truth she deserved, and she was tired of carrying the weight alone. Meanwhile, Todd's behavior shifted as well. People who worked with him said he seemed frustrated and tense, stepping out during shoots to take long phone calls, pacing like someone dealing with a secret they didn't know how to handle. One crew member said he looked like he was trying to keep it together, but something was clearly eating at him. The alleged betrayal had layers, and that's what made the situation so explosive. On a personal level, Porsha believed someone she trusted wasn't being honest with her. Morally, she felt Todd had a responsibility to address the situation head-on instead of avoiding the truth. And publicly, she felt he was maintaining an image that didn't match what was happening behind closed doors. Things became even more complicated when sources revealed that Porsha and Todd allegedly agreed to conduct a private DNA test to settle the matter once and for all. The test was supposed to be handled discreetly, with only a few trusted individuals aware of its existence. No press. No legal involvement. Just two adults confronting a situation they could no longer ignore. But someone leaked it. Or, at least leaked what they claimed were the results. Blurry screenshots, percentages, medical jargon, nothing fully confirmed, nothing officially verified, but enough to send shockwaves through a private celebrity gossip group. Messages started circulating like wildfire. One anonymous member wrote, "If this is real, Todd's got some explaining to do." Fans caught wind of it next and Twitter went wild. "No way Todd caught up in this mess," one person posted. "Porsha been too quiet lately, now it's making sense. another tweeted. Some were in disbelief. Others acted like they'd been waiting for a scandal of this magnitude. Even other celebrities reacted subtly. An R&B singer tweeted, "Lies spread fast, but truth hits harder." A well-known reality TV analyst teased, "Atlanta is crumbling right now. This DNA situation is bigger than people think." Behind the scenes, the fallout was even messier. Sources say Kandi Burruss found out the same way everyone else did, through social media. She allegedly confronted Todd immediately, demanding answers. According to someone close to the family, the tension was crazy. There was yelling, crying. Todd was defensive, and Kandi was shocked. Porsha, feeling betrayed by the leak, reportedly shut down completely. She wanted the truth, not a scandal. A friend close to her claimed she was devastated because she believed the leak wasn't an accident. Someone wanted to expose everything before she was ready. Then came the silence. Both Porsha and Todd vanished from social media. No denials. No statements. No clarifications. And that silence made everything worse, making fans believe there was more to the story than anyone was willing to say out loud. Commentators started asking, if it's false, why aren't they shutting it down? And right when everyone was watching closely, waiting for someone to slip, Porsha finally posted something. A simple Instagram caption. "Truth has a way of coming out, even when you try to bury it." That moment sent the internet into complete meltdown. Everyone wanted to know, what truth? Who buried it? And what exactly did that DNA test reveal? The scandal wasn't cooling off. It was escalating fast. As the scandal continued to spread across social media, the consequences for everyone involved became impossible to ignore. What began as whispers and cryptic posts had now grown into a full-blown storm that was affecting families, reputations, careers, and even long-standing friendships. According to insiders, the fallout hit faster and harder than anyone expected, and none of the people at the center of it were prepared for just how messy things were about to get. The moment Porsha's mysterious Instagram message went live, everything shifted. Within hours, dozens of blogs reposted it with speculation, fans began digging for clues, and YouTubers ran with wild theories. But behind the scenes, Porsha was dealing with a whole different kind of chaos. Her phone wouldn't stop ringing. Close friends were checking in. Relatives were calling, confused and worried. Even her team urged her to stay silent until they had a strategy in place. But emotionally, she was unraveling. One source revealed that Porsha broke down crying after reading comments accusing her of lying. She reportedly told a friend, "I didn't ask for this to blow up. I just wanted the truth." Meanwhile, Todd's life was spiraling in the opposite direction. His phone was blowing up too, but not with support. It was with questions. Angry fans, confused colleagues, and family members demanding explanations. At home, things were even worse. Kandi was reportedly furious, not just because of the rumor itself, but because of how it blindsided her. A person close to the family said, Kandi was trying to keep it together, but she felt humiliated. This wasn't just some rumor, it was something that could damage her family, her brand, everything she's built. The tension between Todd and Kandi reached a breaking point when a clip from one of their recent live appearances resurfaced. In the video, Todd had said, "A real man always stands by his truth." Fans immediately dragged the clip across social media as evidence of hypocrisy, with comments like, "Where's that energy now?" and "Funny how people preach honesty until it involves them." Trolls started picking apart Todd's past behavior, digging up old arguments from the show, creating a narrative that he had been hiding more than people realized. At the same time, legal discussions started swirling. Not because of the alleged DNA test specifically, but because of the leak. Someone had released private medical information, whether fake or real, and that opened the door for lawsuits on all sides. Porsha's camp wanted answers. Todd's camp wanted accountability. Some insiders say that lawyers were already exchanging emails, trying to track down where the original screenshots came from. The uncertainty created even more tension, leaving everyone paranoid, suspicious, and unsure who to trust. Family dynamics were breaking down too. Porsha's relatives were hurt that she was dealing with all of this alone. They felt she was being attacked publicly for something she didn't even confirm. Todd's family, on the other hand, felt blindsided and embarrassed. One family member allegedly said, "This is not who Todd is. Somebody's lying, and it's tearing everyone apart." But even within their own family meetings, there was doubt. People weren't sure whether to defend Todd or prepare for the possibility that the situation was more complicated than he was admitting. Adding fuel to the fire, commentators and influencers began dissecting the timeline. They brought up the charity gala. They highlighted the matching Instagram locations. They resurfaced interviews where Porsha hinted at fake loyal men. They pointed out Todd's sudden distance from certain public events. Each detail created a narrative that contradicted the clean, stable image Todd had carefully maintained for years. Suddenly, people weren't seeing the responsible family man. They were seeing someone who might have had a secret life, a secret relationship, or, at the very least, a secret conversation he hoped would never come out. Meanwhile, Porsha's vulnerability became a double-edged sword. Some fans empathized with her, praising her for being brave enough to speak out, even indirectly. But others accused her of trying to destroy another woman's marriage for attention. Tragically, Porsha felt every bit of that backlash. Her team reportedly urged her not to read comments, but she would scroll anyway, with tears in her eyes, feeling misunderstood and betrayed. Not just betrayed by Todd, but by the public she thought supported her. Behind the scenes, the emotional stakes kept rising. Friends tried to intervene. Some told Porsha to stay strong and stand by her truth. Others warned her that things could escalate legally if she said too much. Todd was told by multiple people to keep quiet and stay off social media entirely. One source said he spent hours in his office, pacing and muttering, "I didn't sign up for this kind of drama." Yet as the days passed, the contradictions between their public images and their private realities grew more obvious. Porsha, the woman who preached transparency and self-love, was now caught in a secret she never intended to reveal so publicly. Todd, the man who championed honesty and stability, was now being accused of hiding something that could tear apart multiple families. Every day, the tension built. Every hour, new speculation emerged. And with each new rumor, the line between truth and perception blurred even more. The scandal wasn't slowing down. It was becoming unstoppable. So after everything we've watched unfold, the cryptic posts, the resurfaced clips, the alleged DNA bombshell, and the emotional fallout tearing through families and friendships, this entire situation has left everyone stunned. Porsha's unexpected message shook the internet to its core. Todd's silence made the rumors even louder, and Candy's